Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you all lovely spiritual beings out there? Those radiant lights out there helping the world getting better? Woo, dog. All right. Now, before I take off on some questions, I'm going to play a little game here. That's right. I'm going to play a little game for our Facebook clinic. We have obviously a Facebook site dedicated to all of this, and what an incredible job all these guys are doing on that. I know that there's always the squabbles and the working out of things, and it's like, that's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Maturing you guys to be good healers and finding that balance within you, you know, that give and take. So I'm real proud of you guys. I haven't had the time to really follow that Facebook. I'm letting you guys roll with that baby. But, I've got 5 questions. And I'm going to try to have 5 questions every couple of weeks for you guys. And I would like you Facebook people to answer these. You guys on YouTube can answer. I'm going to shoot it through YouTube. But you guys on Facebook have to answer this. So you have to get together on Facebook, come out with one answer, and somebody elect themselves as the practitioner. You can be a practitioner. Each one of you take turns and be the practitioner of the day. But I have 5 questions that I need answered from our Facebook clinic. The first one, very simple. What are some of the body's responses to acidosis and why? What are some of the body's responses to acidosis and why? Right? That's question. Well, first question. And I'll have Chris get these up there for you. Number 2, what causes acidosis to settle into the tissues of the human body? Number 2, what causes acidosis to settle into the tissues of the human body? Number 3, list some medical conditions which simply reflect this acidosis. Give me some medical conditions that simply reflect acidosis. Now these are easy. Oh, they're going to get a lot harder, but they're pretty easy, I think. 4, why is detoxification the answer in all conditions? Why is detoxification the answer in all or most conditions? That's pretty easy. See, these are going to be 5 easy questions. And the 5th one, what one diet and herbal protocol would you give somebody? No matter what they had, no matter what problem they had, what one protocol would be a core protocol that you could give universally to everyone? And know that they could get remedy no matter what they have. What would one diet and herbal protocol be? You guys have a week to put this together, and then I'm going to have 5 new questions for you. Isn't this fun? I'm thinking so, because I'm going to make practitioners out of every one of you that want to on Facebook. And I want you to feel confident and strong with dealing with people. How to learn how to deal with the emotional people, the people that are out of balance. I mean, you're already seeing a lot of that. So this could be fun for you. I'm going to have, these 5 questions more and more as you go along. Those who have taken the test will see what kind of test it is that you have to take to get a certificate here. But most of you have done real well on that test. That's amazing. I don't think there's a medical doctor one that could pass that test. Maybe. And I'm going to refine it even more. I want to make sure that when you hold our certificate that you feel confident you deserved it and that you know what you're talking about. It's so important that you learn that you know what you're talking about, and it is not difficult. It's real simple, and always keep things simple. If you think you have to slip into intellectualism, try to avoid as much of that as possible. There's no question that you could pick up a little more, maybe fancier way to say something, but I will say this. I've always spent my entire life trying to think of a simpler way to say something each time. When I'm talking about something, I think, now, could I have said that more simply? Could I have made that easier for people to understand? And that's exactly what I think, because it serves us, none of us, well to be narcissistic. It serves none of us well to be egotistical. It only serves the id, the ego, and that's not even you. It locks you away from being who you really are. So that doesn't serve us any good, and we're all one anyway. I want us all to feel like we're all equal, we're all working to understand everything and to make people well, and then to touch the cloak of God. Okay. Now, this is Steven Johnson's disease. I don't know, this is McNutt 420. Got some pooches there, or one big one. Hey, Dr. Morris, my cousin's 14-month-old boy, 14 months, was burned badly from his testicles down in a bathtub accident a few weeks ago. He was sent to a specialized hospital meant for extremely sick kids. During his first few days there, he took a bad reaction to morphine and developed Steven Johnson's disease. Now let me ask you, Steven Johnson's disease probably was named from Steven Johnson, right? First of all, the sad thing that I see in medical treatment is when it comes to burns. This is one of the worst areas besides oncology that allopathy is involved in. First of all, there should be a tub of aloe vera, fresh aloe vera. It's all over the place. Everybody should be growing aloe anyway. I have tons of it in my house. But bathe in that. Get some burdock leaves. My old friend John Kime, Amishland, loves burdock leaves. Showed me 2 children that was both burned with gas, and I've talked to you about that one before, where the non-Amish boy they were both burned severely. As a matter of fact, the Amish boy's skin just fell down his arm over his wrist. And I saw the difference. I've always known this anyway, but I've seen the difference between the allopathic treatment and the not. This Amish guy used burdock leaves wrapped around, of course, and then some aloe packs and different herbs and stuff. Well, I was at his place in Ohio when he was in Ohio, and I got to meet both boys. And I can tell you that the boy that went allopathically was mutated. He looked horrible. But the boy that treated with the burdock leaves and aloe, you could hardly see any differences up there. My sister's young son, when he was a young man, he was 3 or 4 years old, I suppose, maybe a little older, maybe 5, but he spilled a hot coffee pot down his face and down his chest. Well, when she was at the hospital, they were rubbing cream on, and my sister happened to ask them about what's this cream? She said, well, it's an aloe-based cream. Well, I had talked to her about aloe vera when she called me upset about her son, and I said, you need to go get some fresh aloe vera plants. So she brought her boy home, and she did just that. She went out and got fresh aloe vera plants, and he ended up with one little bitty scar, I think, under his chin or on his chest, and it was when the dog jumped up and scratched him. But outside of that, he has nothing to show he was ever burned, and these were 3rd-degree burns. So I can just tell you that this is something you need to do with this little baby. Now, what's funny, they didn't have to give him morphine sulfate. Morphine at a young lad, at this young, probably has very weak kidney and adrenals, so guess what we've got? We've got some autonomic nerve suppression going on here, if not some central nervous system suppression. So this is, I don't know what Steven Johnson's disease is. I never heard of it. Let's look at it. But that's morphine sulfate. You know what's funny is when you put that young baby into a bath of aloe vera, it'll pull that pain right out of those tissues. Now, why would you not go to that direction instead of morphine the little baby up and then, oh, what they're going to do to this baby? From what I read about it, is extremely rare and not many survive it. He has been going through regular blood transfusions. Oh, my God. Jesus criminy, not from the morphine, and it's far from out of the woods yet. Now, am I crazy, or is this simply a matter of cleaning the blood? Absolutely, you're not crazy, you're right on. Now, you would get into the kidneys and the adrenals because you want to move that lymph. Very important for the healing process to begin. You're going to bathe them in aloe vera juice or whatever you can do to bathe them with aloe vera. You can get some burdock leaves if you can find them. The second thing here is to definitely get on the blood formula. Clean this baby's blood. Detoxify this baby. Get this baby on fruit, 14 months old. Don't get him on the formulas that are going to give him pneumonia in the hospital. You got to be careful about that. They love to give babies, they love to give people pneumonia, but these Ensures and Pedisures, 14-month fruit. Get him changed right over to a high fruit and berry diet right away. That'll clean his blood. That'll get rid of Stephen out of the picture here, and everybody's good here. No, you're right on here with your thinking. My family is not open to anything other than allopathy. Well, that's a problem. Well, you know, it's sad for not them. Who cares about them? It's sad for the young baby. That's who's sad. The baby's the one who has to live through this. You ought to let your parents look at this video because they got to get over allopathy. There's no real good remedy in allopathy. And if they consider the child dying, and they're going to antibiotic this child to death. So you're facing pneumonia, lymph suppression even further, a grueling treatment of burns, which is all stupid. Doesn't have to be. I mean, I tell you, we are the worst at burn treatment, allopathy here. It is horrible, and there's no need for that. Real easy to regenerate tissue, and the skin regenerates itself quite nicely. That's why you get the botanical world. It's what God created, and aloe is nothing like it for burns. I've used aloe baths. I've used it in every case that you can see. But I can tell you the difference between how that little that little boy is going to come out here and how he's not going to come out. I am helpless, but I want to help. The young boy's name is Brayden, Braden. And boy, could he use your help. Well, this is a Canadian, Brunswick's a Canadian. Well, you Canadians, get your head on your shoulders and be real careful how you treat your little baby boy, because it's not real nice of what's going to happen. Fact that he has gotten so toxic that quick off of morphine shows you the toxicity factors. One of morphine, why you see a lot of people go down real quick when they go on it for cancers, but also two, that some indication of the lad's adrenal and kidney connection, because the adrenals is all your steroids, and of course the steroids will come into play here as anti-inflammatories or antacids, because he got a real serious acid burn. And that's what aloe and burdock and comfrey and horsetail, there's so many incredible, nothing in pharmacology, nothing in pharmaceutical world has anything that comes that close to aloe, burdock, comfrey, nothing. So this is a case where this young boy could get killed for a simple burn. Burns 3rd degrees, they can all be healed right up, guaranteed. Make yourself, if you're the parents, make yourself a bath of aloe vera when you get the young lad home. If you get him home, that's a horrible situation. Horrible, 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 but it is very doable. But again, the parents are lost in allopathy, freaking out. Don't freak out. Moms and dads, you have to learn not to freak out and learn what's up and what's real in life, because people have to get streetwise, because allopathy has claimed its throne in front of all people, and it has nothing like that. You have to protect yourselves.